Hi everybody, welcome to our second episode of Craft Addict K on YouTube channel. This is a channel that focuses mainly on cross stitch, and I'm Carla.
I'm Sam.
And we're here to share some things with you today. I hope you enjoy. To start off, we want to just go over some old business, some old news from episode 1 that we neglected to share, and I wanted to make sure that we did. One of which was StitchCon. I think we're going through a StitchCon withdrawal. Every time I turn around, I'm finding other things, and I'm going, oh, I forgot to show them that, or I should have showed them that. I should put this in the video. It's been a very interesting ride, to say the least. But one of the things that we didn't share last time was what we got for our Smalls Exchange. So without further ado, Samantha, you want to show your Smalls Exchange?
My Smalls Exchange? Okay. I got a Christmas ornament for a tree by Diane from Illinois. And then I also got some color and cotton threads. Plan on doing something with those. I also got some scissors. Very pretty. I love winter. Christmas is my jam. And I got some other stuff, but it's packaged away and busy.
And in my Smalls Exchange, I received a skein of Mo's SAL. And look at the colors on that. I'm hoping you can see that, but
it's like cotton candy pink.
It is like cotton candy pink. I got some thread drops, and also the little metal rings that are kind of bendable that I hear people talking about these. And I also received, let's see if I can get it in there, the stitching all framed up, and it says stitching is my heart's desire, with the hearts around it, which is awesome. And what makes mine so interesting is my name's Carla with a K, and my random person is also Carla with a K. And we kept finding similarities throughout the weekend and running into each other. So I think it was a divine intervention somewhere that brought us together, because what's the chances? Not only another Carla that I get her exchange gift, but it spells it the same as me. So thank you, Carla, very much for this gift. I will treasure it. It sits in my sewing room by my stitchy spot.
And the story, there's a story. Whenever she opened up her Smalls Exchange, she could have sworn that it said for Carla, and she was like, how did they know? But it was a 2.
It was a 2, that's right. You know, there's so much energy going on at StitchCon. It's really hard. I was in an event over this past weekend, and people had a lot of questions about StitchCon, and I found it was very hard to explain. Just the energy from that room is just so much different. If you haven't experienced it, I just can't encourage it enough that it's definitely worth the trip to just experience that. I still have that moment of excitement of thinking about all the people I've met and connections I still have that, you know, I'm messaging. I'm on instant messenger with people that I met there, and it's been a great experience. One of the other things that I received while I was there is a thread conditioner. It's a little toy soldier.
Little Lego man.
Little Lego man. This was made by Natasha, one of my table mates. And she has her own beehive, and so
watch out for legs.
She says watch out for legs, because I make those myself. But it was fantastic, such a nice gift. I don't know what people's feelings are on thread conditioner. I use thread conditioner. I use beeswax. I also use, I know, the coveted Thread Magic. I still have some old packages, look, still of Thread Magic. One of the floss tubers that I watch, and I can't remember who it was when I was watching, I just turned on Flosstube. I watch that more than I watch TV anymore.
True.
But they made a recommendation of what they do with their thread conditioner, like your magic thread. They cut it in half and they put it into a contact lens case. So here's an example of like a contact lens case, okay?
Common
and what they do, yeah, you can get this anywhere, but they put half is for the dark and the other half is for the light. So you can see the difference. And I've been running my dark, this is my little travel one, so it's pretty full yet. Here's another one that I picked up that I use at my stitching spot. And you can see, I mean, it's worn down a little bit more. I use a lot more dark colors than light colors. And I can't take credit for the idea, but I couldn't find the Flosstube video that I watched that talked about it. So I can't give credit either. But there is somebody out there that said that, and I thought it made perfect sense, because now I know why my white floss was looking dingy, because I didn't separate darks from light. So there's a tip for you. If you find it useful, let me know. Comment below if it's something that you like. I'm very, new, so a lot of these things are new for me. It might be a no-brainer, and you thought, oh, this girl's crazy. She's just now getting to that. So, I like simple things, and I like, if it works and it's not expensive, let's try what works. The other thing we want to talk about is we had our needle minder exchange.
You can go first.
Go ahead, Samantha. Show us your needle minders from your needle minder exchange.
All right. Okay. Here are all my needle minders. All the ones I got exchanged for ones that were shared between us.
Mm-hmm.
I love Hagrid. I love him. He's the best character from Hogwarts. I gotta say, he's my favorite. And then I got that at the Annex.
Mm-hmm.
Little ghost. Thought it was so cute. So I got him with my own money. So excited.
She's very happy about that. She's a little bit of a tight one when it comes to spending her money.
I'm very stingy with money. Very stingy.
She's stingy. If mom can get it, that's even better. But I remember being a teenager at one point in time. I was the one that was trying to get rid of needle minders. I didn't care if anybody brought one to exchange. If you walked by my table, I was trying to offer you a needle minder. And
I didn't want to come home with any.
And I still managed to come home with quite a few. But I did get some great ones. I've got the turtle from memory with current situation. And I exchanged with Brenda, a handwork maniac. I don't know if you can, probably can't see the tree. Hard to see it, but I always think about her stitching on her tree that she's working on currently, and so I asked for the tree in our exchange, and so I think of that.
Tree.
And another interesting thing, and I don't know if I can get this up close enough to the camera, this is a needle holder.
It was from the lady sitting behind us.
Yeah, she was sitting behind us, and it looks like a rose. I don't know if you can see that. But there's a little hole on the side that's drilled into the side, so you actually slide your needle into the hole instead of laying it on top. And it does have a little magnet on the bottom. So I've never seen that before, and I thought that was really interesting. So I just wanted to share that. And so I think that's all the old news.
It's hot over here.
It is a little hot up here, and our room that we were taping in is upstairs, and so it does get a little bit hot, and it's hot in western Pennsylvania.
It's very humid.
And humid. So one of the things I want to talk about too is I think our first episode went up on Wednesday.
I think Wednesday or
Thursday last week, and we were so nervous, and we've had such great comments. Samantha and I every evening are sitting and going through all the comments and reading them to her, and just really excited about how well we've been received by this community. Yeah, I mean, we're like 81 subscribers last time we looked, and I mean, to me that says, wow, 81 people care to hear what we're talking about.
What are they doing?
And it's just, I want to say, and it was a holiday weekend, so thank you so much to everybody. First of all, if you've subscribed already to our channel, thank you. If you haven't, please subscribe. It's down below on your phone. If you're looking on your phone, on the television, you got to kind of go to your phone. I haven't figured out that whole process, but anyways, I do want to thank you. Thank you for coming and listening to us. And I hope everyone had a wonderful 4th of July weekend.
Because we sure did.
We did. So let's talk about that. So Saturday, my middle daughter, who may come on a future video.
Who knows?
She doesn't live in the state. She's in West Virginia. But she bought tickets for the Pirates game for me for my birthday, and thought she remembered whenever they were kids, I took them to a Pirates game. I actually donated blood at the American Red Cross, my husband and I, and we got free tickets.
It was fun.
And we took them to the game, and they just had a blast. And so she remembered that, and she thought that it would be a great gift for me. So she decided that, why not? Let's take Mom to the Pirates game. So we get there a little bit. Well, first of all, when we're on our way there, we decided to stop at Michael's because I had a finished object. My little wedding sampler was finished and I wanted to drop it off.
Get it framed.
And get it framed. And Michael's is the only thing I have close to me. So I have since learned already some other places that I could go to, but it's there now. And then we went to the game. We got there a little bit early, was standing in line, and because I took my stitching with me, which there'll be pictures at the end of the video, I took my stitching with me. I had to go through the inspect your bag line.
Everybody else didn't bring bags. She didn't think this ahead of time.
I thought of it well ahead of time. I knew I was going to be stitching at the game, let me tell you.
It was smart.
So, as I'm standing in line, I thought, well, let's see what's on Flosstube. So I watched Current Situation. Thank you, Memory and Amy, for keeping me company while I waited in line. Your whole episode got me through the line. We get inside, we get to our seats, I start stitching, and then it starts raining, and we end up with a 2-hour delay. So what does Carla do? Let's plug in her headphones. Let's go listen to her little earbuds. And we put, what is it? Pam and Steph with Just Keep Stitching. And I watched their wrap up from StitchCon, and thank you, Pam and Steph, for keeping us company as well, because it was a long, rainy episode.
But it was a good game. We did win. It
was a good game. We won. We did decide we had a far enough lead in the game that on the 8th inning, we decided that we would go ahead and head home because it is a little bit of a drive for us. But I want to give a shout out to the Steel City Stitchers that I was down in your neck of the woods. So hopefully sometime we can meet up soon for a stitching day. That'd be great. However,
maybe not in Pittsburgh.
yeah, we're thinking Cranberry, a little halfway in between. But anyways, we on the way back turned on the radio so we could hear the rest of the game and found out 2 of the Brewers had a collision and were injured. So hopefully they're okay.
And then it was on the news the next day.
Right, it looked like a really bad one. So,
it was just a little like a concussion.
Yeah. So that was Saturday. And then Sunday, I had enrolled in a class at Just Stitching. It's in Strongsville, Ohio. It's about a 2-hour drive for me to get there. But it was a class, a Roveris class, and it had to do with, it was, let me make sure, this is the pattern that the class was. It's a pin cushion, a scissor fob, and a pin, like a needle minder. So the class was, you went and you received this wonderful kit. It all came in this nice box. So a little nice corrugated box, and it had your pattern. It had the bottom to go for the bottom of your pin cushion, all the finishing items. Can you see this? All the finishing, all the extra goodies are all in there. Even all the filling. The filler, the stuffing to put in everything. Both Livia and I'm gonna put Paola were there to give the class. They had a trunk show there. I do have a couple of pictures we'll put in at the end, but I was not real savvy on picture taking. This is still new for me. I was just living in the moment, and I tend to do that a lot when I get out to other places. Is I just I live in the moment, and I don't
observe.
I'm more of an observer, and I don't think about pictures until I'm driving home and going, oh, I should have taken a video, or I should have taken pictures. So I'm hoping that I get better at that.
We'll learn. We'll get better.
We'll get better at that. But
we can only improve.
We can only improve. The only way it goes up, right?
Yep.
Okay, so the lesson learned in all of this is Livia Paola. I'm sorry. I'm really, the Roveris ladies, let's just say that, Roveris ladies, were so kind and so sweet, and they, their English was a little hard. There was a lot of verbiage that we had trouble with, but it didn't take away from the class. It didn't take away from the experience. And, let's face it, cross stitch is a universal language. We can demonstrate what we need to do without words. And, you can make a ball and put it in there to stuff it and figure out how to do that without a whole lot of words. They're wonderful, so kind. And they talked with the stitchers over there. It's, I think, about 10 of us. There might have been a little bit more, but I think it was around 10 of us. I was the only one from Pennsylvania. Everybody else was local to the shop. So, you know, I did meet, well, I'd say local, but within an hour. I think the next lady was about an hour away. And it was just a fantastic experience for a Sunday afternoon. So
a little bit of Sunday driving.
the other thing that came with that, and I forgot to show you, that I thought was an ingenious idea, was this is the floss, and how they gave it to us. This is the floss that goes with the kit. It's a shower ring.
That's what I thought it looked like.
It's a shower ring.
Right.
And I thought, what a nifty idea. If you have a project that just has a couple of color threads, you know, instead of a metal ring, you can just put it right here on a shower ring and put that in your project. And I think you can get these relatively cheap too at Dollar Tree or, you know, your local Dollar General. I mean, just thought that was a nifty idea. So there you go for that. I did make some progress when I was there. So this is the progress that I made.
Nice little GaRon, or GaRon.
My GaRon Grime Guard.
You had to think of the word for a second.
My brain stopped on me a second. Okay, so this is how far I got. This is nice little webbing that I was working on for the spider web. Really, the pattern is super easy to read. I didn't even highlight anything on the pattern. It was super easy to read. Definitely, I did get some more items from the trunk show because I liked how simple the patterns were and how beautiful the ending pieces ended up being. So
excited to see that get finished.
Yep. And you know what? It might be my exchange next time. I said I was going to work on a lot of smalls this year because I typically go for really big projects. And so when we were preparing for the smalls exchanges last time, it was the first smalls exchange I'd ever been in. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to make, and I hoped what I made was nice enough. The person who received my gift loved it, hugged me, said that it was fantastic. I took some pictures, but I don't know if they're show worthy, so I will look and see, and if they are, I'll put it in there. But it actually was a wheelbarrow, and I put 3 different smalls for in front of the wheelbarrow and some stitching stuff inside the wheelbarrow. But I did like an Easter theme from Lizzie and Kate. I did a Liberty, I think was from Lizzie and Kate, and I kind of improvised a pattern and had give thanks on there for autumn theme. So if I can find those pictures, I will tack them on at the end. Samantha and I still haven't figured out how to embed photos while we're videoing, and when we're using our phone for videoing, it makes it a little bit more difficult. So
you can only improve.
We can only improve. Samantha really enjoys doing these videos. I hope you guys enjoy watching them. So there is that. And I guess that kind of took us right into the whips. Before we get too far into whips, I just wanted to say again that if you have a shop nearby and they're having events, go get involved in that, meet other people,
make new friends.
It was interesting to see what different people's techniques are and what equipment that they use and what do they take to a retreat with them or what do they take to a stitch in with them, because everybody that sat at our table had something different, and it was really neat how we could share that information. And like I said, it's the universal language in my world. I mean, I can talk cross stitch forever and a day because I just truly love this craft, this hobby. It's a hobby only because I have to work. Otherwise, this would be my work.
It would be her work.
I do enjoy it. If you don't have something near you, I'm just going to give a little plug because there is a Facebook group called Stitchers Escapes. And Stitchers Escapes does offer all across the country. If somebody's putting something together, it's there. I just saw some things pop up for Florida area. There's some things in Tennessee. I belong to the Western Pennsylvania and Ohio group that's part of that Stitchers Escape, and they are doing a retreat at the end of October. And basically, we did it last year. It was my first retreat ever.
I had fun.
It was fun. I think it cost us $30, and it's basically a sit and stitch. But the organizer rented a room at a local hotel in Boardman, Ohio, and the more people that went, the lower the price went. And we would stay at the hotel and go down and stitch during the day and into the night. And we did that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and it was a fantastic time. I met a lot of people with that, and I think we're doing another one. It's at the end of October. Again, I think it's October. I don't quote me on the dates. I'll have to look that up. But I think it was the last weekend in October before Halloween. So I'm looking forward to going. And I think, you know, I said last video that stitching doesn't have to be an introverted sport. There's definitely people out there that want to stitch and want to communicate, and Facebook is an avenue for us to be able to do that, and so is YouTube, that we can communicate together with your comments and the videos that are getting put out by multiple stitchers. I'm in awe of it all together. So, all right, enough of that gushy stuff, because I get into gushy stuff. All right, let's go. Whips, you're up.
I'm up. Okay. Back to my parchment tapestry, which I worked on last week.
Put something behind there.
Give me a second. Okay, there we go. My little parchment tapestry. I finished up this flower since last week, and then I started working on the leaves, borders. Hoping to get that done by next video. If not, I tried. And I think that's gonna be everything. I'm probably only gonna be working on that because I didn't work on the sewing machine project from last week.
All right, so that's your whip. You don't have any other whips?
No.
Okay.
Just the one.
All right, so I already showed you my spider web from Rivera's. I have my other whip I'm going to show you is my Shores of Hawk Run Hollow, and there's not a lot to see in this because I have rolled to the next level. I've got the top row done. Here's the
pattern.
Yeah, this is the picture of what it will look like. My tongue is very tied.
It's all right. We accept you.
And this is, that's good, somebody does. And this, sorry, it's a big frame. This is where we're at. Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
Okay, so this is where we're at. And I'm actually doing a conversion here where I'm going to use my mother-in-law's. She passed away. She's from Puerto Rico, and this design reminds me of Puerto Rico. And so, because of the water and the ships, it just reminds me of her when I look at it. And so I am going to use, instead of on the pattern, it says
like Sergeant something.
No, it says in memory of Lieutenant Pomfrey. I'm going to put in memory of Carmen and her name and her date of her passing. So I'm to personalize it. And so that's where we're at. And I will be doing some work on that this week for our Schools of Magical Stitches challenge. This was number
Knock me out.
2. No, I won't.
Don't knock me out.
I won't knock you out. This is number 2 of my whip list, so that's going to get some attention this week. And the other one that I'm working on this week is Star House in the Pines by Kit and Bixby, and this is what it will look like. And I have this on a scroll rod, and this is on a vanilla latte linen. It is 32 count. Kind of messing with linen, and I have, there's more rolled up. But I'm hoping, let me see, can you hold the back?
Oh, yeah. I got you.
This is on my Magical Stitches homework as well, so the only thing I have left is to do the bottom in the grass where it says Home Sweet Home and put some sheep in here. And then I think we will be almost able to call this a to-done. So hopefully I'll get some work on that this week as well, because that is going to be my School of Magical Stitches work that I want to do. And here's another tip for all of you. If you're working on a pattern, which when you're preparing for these videos, people say you wouldn't believe all the stuff that gets piled up and pulled together. There's a lot of stuff that gets piled up and pulled together.
Here.
And in order to keep track of what material I'm working on, I take the tag or I write a piece of paper and I stick it with the pattern. So I know with this pattern in my bag is the material that I used. My Hawk Run Hollow is on a 28 count Picture This Plus, and I believe it's an ale is what it was called. So that's just, another little tip.
And I didn't do that for my parchment tapestry. I don't know what happened to it. Sorry.
So I think that's all the whips I'm going to show, because we have a lot of haul and some stitchy kindness that happened this week, so I want to share. So, and another little tip and trick. I have a finish. So let's show you my finish. I showed this last week. It was a whip last week. Yeah, we'll go ahead and
just use the board. When in doubt, use the board.
When in doubt, use the board. This was on one of my frames, and it's got the Velcro tabbies on the top because I Velcroed it to a scroll frame when I was working on it. That'll be trimmed off when I get it finished. Do the FFO, finally finished on it. But here, am I showing you? This is where we, I showed this last week. It was a work in progress. I had to finish the 2 gnomes, I believe, on the left, and I had a lot of back stitching to do. And I was able to finish that since our last video, which, you know, Flosstubers, you told me when you do videos, it does motivate you to get work done so you have something to share. And the whole time I was stitching this, I thought, I need to get this done so I have a finish to share. I need to get this done. I don't know. I'm kind of debating on doing a pillow with this. So that's what I'm kind of leaning towards. Like when I was stitching it, I was thinking, boy, this would kind of make a nice little pillow to kind of put out for the holidays. So this is the winter gnomes, and oh, did I write down? This on a 14 count loops and threads, light blue Ada, and I can't remember who the the designer was Carolyn Manning Designs, and I purchased this on her Etsy shop as a PDF file. So, okay. All right, so
tip.
All right, tip. I'm going to give you my tip.
Tip number 2.
Tip number 2. I was really in a hurry, and don't expect tips in every video because
they're limited and far between.
Yeah, they are limited, and so when I get a bright idea, I try and write it down. But I've seen a lot of fancy rolls, and for that people have quilted, and they store their projects in them, and they
don't get wrinkled.
So it doesn't get wrinkled. Well, and I didn't invent this idea. I'm not taking credit for this idea because somewhere, somehow, there's somebody probably already has done a video tutorial on how to do this. But I wanted to share my version of what I did, and if you like it, you like it, and if you don't, you don't. So
it's cheap and it works.
It's cheap and it works. So I took let me see,
pool noodle.
Took a pool noodle, and I'm just going to show you exactly how easy this is here. All right, so took a regular blue pool needle. This is pool season. You can get these very easily at a Dollar Tree for next to nothing. I also had a piece of fabric, and to show you, Hannah Montana. I don't know.
Felt.
It's like a felty fabric. It's just what I had on hand. You could use any kind of fabric. Probably. And what I did was I had my ducks that my wedding sampler to take to, and I didn't want it all wrinkled after I'd ironed it. And I don't have the camera at the right angle, so I'm going to stand up and see if I can show you standing up. So what I did was I took my material, took my pool noodle, and I rolled it so that it basically rolled underneath a little bit, okay? Then I took 3 straight pins. See the pins? Can you see them? Not sure.
You know what a pin looks like.
Straight pin, and I pinned in straight in 1, 2, 3, and then all you have to do is you can lay your piece on this part, and there you go, and just roll it up. And when you roll it up,
it don't get wrinkled.
It doesn't get wrinkled. You can walk into your framer, underarm, ready to go, and say, here you go. And you unroll it and display out your project. It's not wrinkled. It's not folded. You don't have any crease lines, and it just makes it for a very easy way. You can store it this way too. If you want to store them and you got to, instead of an under the bed box I hear Pam and Steph have, maybe you just have a pull tube. And you can cut whatever size you want for your projects. If you have small, medium, and large, and you're keeping them for whichever one you're going to finish next. I just thought that this was a inexpensive, and easy, if I just want to do something real quick. And that's basically how this came into my brain, is because we were trying to get out the door to the Pirates game, and I was looking around to figure out what I could do to make my project not be all wrinkled. So, that's why I came up with this. So,
and it works.
And it worked, and it was great. And Hannah Montana rises again to our household, I guess.
Hannah Montana never dies.
Oh, Go ahead. Excuse me.
Oh,
You can keep talking.
oh, sorry.
Show them your finishes.
Okay. So, I didn't finish these like in the week that we didn't finish these last week. But like I had this before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the boards, I'm just using this paper. I had this little bike. It says enjoy the ride. Gift for a friend.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an FFO, it's just an FO.
And it's a dimensions kit. And for those that don't know, an FO means finished object.
Yes.
Um,
And an FFO is a finally finished object, which I have.
You do.
I do have one. And it's a little ballerina tutu frog thing. I love it.
Yeah. That was her first ever, I think, complete stitch.
That was bigger than little ones that you get at Walmart.
Yep. And it is done on an Ada.
Picked out the frame myself.
She picked out the frame and we framed it ourselves and didn't do too bad of a job, and she had fun. So, let's see.
I forgot that you already showed your finishes.
Sorry, I did. I showed my finishes. I'm looking to see. Let's see. Haul. Okay. I got a haul, but a little bit mixed with stitchy kindness too. So we're going to kind of go through both.
We're rolling with it.
We're going to roll with it because, you know, I look at us that we're visiting with you and hopefully you're enjoying what you're seeing. When I was at StitchCon, I got Candy Corn Broom by Needle Bling Designs.
At the annex. Other way. There we go.
And it says, my broomstick runs on candy corn. And Memory from Current Situation said, hey Carla, I think I have that candy corn fabric that this was finished on the model that they had at the annex at StitchCon. And she goes, I'd be happy to send it to you. She sent it to me. So I just got it
today.
I just got it today. How cute is this candy corn material? And this is yellow candy corn galore is what's on the tag. But how cool is that? I am excited to stitch that on that, and that's going to be a project for sure this week because I want to stitch that.
Halloween is coming out.
It is. I kind of have the philosophy that once the holiday's over, okay, it's kind of defeats the purpose to kind of keep working on those projects. Is look at what's the next holiday, what's the next thing coming, and let's see what I can get done so I have for the next holiday. This is my first year of stitching. Like I said, I just started in October of last year, and I started with some really big projects. Halloween Quaker was one of my first starts.
I love it.
So was Shores of Hawk Run Hollow. Eye opener for me was that just because the picture is this big doesn't mean the design will be that big. So it is taking me a lot longer than I anticipated for those projects. So
Pictures are deceiving.
I'm going for some smaller projects and hoping, and actually I'm going to put this material. Memory, thank you so much. Amy, thank you so much. I'm going to slide that right into my pack, and now I'm ready to go. Just throw in my floss, and I got something that I can work on downstairs when the husband's home and he wants to watch television and is missing me and I have to come out of my stitching spot. I'll have a temporary nest down there with him. So, so thank you. I also ordered.
Wait, there's more.
There is more. I also ordered from them. Current Situation on their Etsy site is 3 scissor fobs that I think Amy makes, and I thought they were beautiful. But they all each came in their own individual little bag, and you know this one has. I need to figure out a way to show these better for you guys to see them.
You deserve so much more.
This one has a little penguin, and you know I told you it's from just north of Pittsburgh.
I think
so
they named theirs like George or something.
So yeah, they named theirs George.
Ours is George Jr.
No, this is Herman the penguin, and I just love it, love it, love it, love it. So that's going to be a scissor fob that I'll be using.
The other ones.
They also, sorry, my head's kind of sent us a this star scissor fob. It has a star and it's blue, and I actually got this for probably an upcoming giveaway.
It's not a giveaway, or is it a giveaway?
what we call it, giveaway or raffle. We're going to look at doing something when we reach 100 subscribers, and when we reach 100 or 200 subscribers. I'd like to do a giveaway like every 100 if I can, or 150.
We're not sure yet.
We're not sure. We're playing it by ear, but just know that there will be a giveaway forthcoming at some point, and we'll talk about it probably in our next video. We'll see where we're at with subscriptions. Subscribers. And I use green scissors. I have some green scissors. And so this frog really spoke to me because
we have a lot of frog stuff.
We all have frogs in our lives at some point. You're not a stitcher if you don't have a frog. So I just loved it. So
Sometimes
you just have to have a frog. And it's got a nice thank you card.
With such
saying
sweet
thank
words.
you. And it came wrapped in this really beautiful tissue paper, purple tissue paper.
It came in these little nice little blue bags.
As well as Samantha. She snagged it, Memory.
I love tea. I love tea. She's more of a coffee drinker. But I'm definitely going to drink this for you, Memory name.
She's like, is that tea? Can I drink it now? I said, no, you cannot
No, you
drink
can't wait
it.
till after the video.
You have to wait till after the video, and then you can drink the tea if you want to drink the tea. So, for those of you that don't know, Samantha is a very avid tea drinker. She likes hot teas, cold teas. She likes going to out to Olive Garden because they bring her her own little tea box with her tea bags and her little pot of tea. So
I didn't know they came with that until the first time.
and now that's like her favorite place to go.
Oolong is my favorite, though. Gotta say, 100%.
All right. So let's do our haul, and then we'll go over plants. So haul is I've got a Downton Abbey project bag from GaRon Toten bags. They do, if you don't know, they do a bag of the month. Here's the inside, really nice big bag. Definitely can hold multiple projects. They also do Grime Guard of the month. So if you're interested, they do not have an Etsy shop. They are all in. They do give you like a little tag you can rate your projects on. It's connected.
We never write on them though.
I don't write on them because
they're just too nice to write on.
They are, but they do have a Facebook group. So if you get onto their Facebook group, they tend to post bags for sale, and it's basically who's ever first and gets there before it's gone. Me Please gets it for you, and then they'll send you an invoice. Their Grime Guard of the month and their bag of the months are like high quality. I am in the Grime Guard of the month for 2 different sizes Grime Guards because I just think
there's
it's
a lot of
artwork.
variety in our pattern sizes.
Everybody asks about why you want that, and I've said before, you know, this is our artwork, and you take care of your artwork. It's not something to throw into just a paper sack and it gets lost in the corner. It's something that you take better care of it whenever it's in something that you like to see and that's quality to you. I'm not going to throw this in a corner like I would a Walmart bag. So, you know, I'm just saying that it's worth the investment for your projects.
Stitching bags are like children, except they don't whine. I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Like, these are nice. Like,
they are nice.
Quality.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I think the heat's getting to her.
It is pretty hot. It is like almost 80 degrees in this house.
Not to change the subject, but I'm going to change the subject. I did purchase a while ago. Kindred Stitcher. I want to say it was Kindred Stitcher. I want to double check my facts. Kindred Stitcher. Yes, Kindred Stitcher. I was watching her Flosstube a couple of months ago, and she had read Memorial Sampler, Midsummer Nights. And I know you can't read it, but I'm going to read it. It says, "Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on snow. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn's rain. When you awaken in the morning hush, I am the swift uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die." This is by Midsummer Night Designs. And when I heard Kindred Stitcher reading this, I paused, went back, listened to it again, went back, kept trying to figure out where she got it from. And she did say that they had another copy, and it is at the Attic in Mesa, Arizona. So if you are in Mesa, Arizona, you probably know about the Attic. If you don't know about the Attic, you should go visit the Attic. It is that I emailed the shop owner. I believe her name was Jen, but don't quote me because it's been a few months. I emailed her and I said that I had seen this on a Flosstube video, and that they had mentioned that she had a copy. I am a nurse, as I said in my first video, and I currently manage a home care agency, and we have a hospice and palliative care that's also part of our company. I manage the home care side, but we have a bereavement center as well. And so for that sentiment really spoke to me, and I wanted to do something for our bereavement center. So when I wrote her, I was explaining this to her. She sent me the pattern for free, you all. She just sent it to me, mailed it to me, would not take any money for it. Bless her heart, and said, I hope that everybody at your center truly appreciates the effort you're putting into this. So this has been on my want to do list. I got all the flosses whenever I was at Keepsakes, and I also got the material at Keepsakes.
That's sad. I mean, it's like a good sad, you know?
It is a wise Zygarde because it has the orange tabs, but I don't know the count. It's not on the label. I'm thinking it's probably 32 count from looking at it, but I'm not a professional. I'm going to guess it's 32 count. But if you can see, let me see, can you see the variegation in that, or is it kind of washing out? I'm going to let you know.
It's kind of like smoky.
It's painted on because the back is white, or an off-white. So it is a painted on. But something that one of the customers pointed out to me that I hadn't thought about was this actually has, let me not fall over. This actually has striations that go across. That's the pattern that's painted, is lines going across. And when you have words, you really have to think about what's on the back side of those words, because this is going to give you kind of more fluid than having it going, some fluidity, or however you want to say it, instead of the up and down. I really don't think you're getting a true picture of the color. I'm hoping you get some of that variegation. But if it's going up and down and your words are going this way,
there's going to be some conflict for
it may not be pleasing for the eyes.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a really neat tip. I never would have thought of it if she hadn't mentioned it. So, and I thought, well, I'm going to share that tip with you. So I finally...
Tip number 3.
Tip number 3. So I got the material, got the floss. Now it's just a matter. And I got my Abby bag because I really think that is the project that is going to go into my Abby bag because of it's special to me. And all I do is get my Q-snap in here or my scroll rods and figure out which one of those I'm going to do it on. But that's where that will be. I also...
You take a breath?
I want, because now we need to talk about good vibes. I was at my local Michael's, and you know, we have the Needle Minder Exchange coming up and our next StitchCon, June 11th through the 14th. And so I found this, and it was on sale. It actually comes with a little tassel, but I'll probably take that off. And it says good vibes. It was like on clearance for $1.
So like the jewelry section.
Yeah, it was in the jewelry section. And the other thing that I picked up while I was there that I thought would make really cute needle minders is all these little car buggies. Like, how cute is that? If it'll focus.
There you go.
All right. So I thought those were cute. So those will be needle minders. And then I mentioned that I was at...
They got hippie ones.
They do. Oh my. Okay.
Lost cause over here.
Yeah, I don't know what she's doing today. So while I was at the Just Stitching shop, of course, you know, when you're at the shop, you take
advantage of it.
You don't take advantage of it, but you support your local needle shop. When I was quilting, I didn't go to a quilt shop and at least not walk out with a fat quarter or something to support that shop, because if you don't support your brick and mortar shops, they're going to be gone. And if you're a stitcher like me, I like to touch and feel the things I'm purchasing. I don't know, you know, pictures, you see it 100 times over that the pictures that are on the patterns don't match what the model is either.
Pictures are deceiving.
They are deceiving. So when I have the opportunity, I'm going to support the shop. I'm going to support designers. So one of the things that I purchased when I was there was the Just Cross Stitch magazine.
Halloween.
This is their Halloween edition, and it's got 60 patterns, y'all. 60 patterns in this.
No.
I am so excited. Look, I can't show you. Look, I can't show you. No.
It shows the pattern in the magazine.
She did. I'm going to hold this back. I did get 2 free patterns from the shop that are Halloween-y. I put in there as well.
Without witches on them.
They have witches on them, but look. Like, look. There is a design in here by Roveris. I'm just going to tell you that there is, but there is so many Halloween patterns. Like if I'm going to be having a Halloween tree, maybe not this year, but I'm going to be working on one for next year for sure. So, so I did get that. I also...
Man, you, that's a lot. Sorry. Okay, continue.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
Sorry.
I also got fabric. This is a hand-painted specialty fabric called Winter Finch. And it is on, I believe it's 28 count.
Oh yeah,
but
they can see that.
Can you see that? That is a really, you know what? I saw it, it spoke to me. I don't know if I'll do Halloween on this. I'm kind of leaning towards that, but I'm not sure. I just want to make sure it's the right thing. It's not it's like a 13 by 18 inch piece.
Like meadows.
Yeah, it's going to have the right one for sure. And this is from the Crossed Wing collection. So, and it looks like they're out of Wisconsin. And this is Winter Finch. So I thought it was really nice. I liked it. Let's see. I also got the pattern. You're sitting in this class, and if you've gone to Just Stitching, there is a lot of models around the shop, and your eyes just gravitate. Every time I look up, I saw something different. I kept going back to this one. This picture does not do it justice. It's Heinz it? I don't know.
Heinz. You can read it.
I'm not sure, but it is Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. And I'm going to get a red bell for on his nose, and that's how I'm going to finish that. But I just kept looking at it, and I thought, oh my goodness.
It's just so pretty.
It was something I needed to have, so I did get that. And look, it comes with a red bell, and I got some floss while I was there.
Is that a small project?
This would be, it's fairly small.
Like, I imagine that thing being bigger.
Yeah, no, it's not real big. It's more on the small side. I think it's 69, the stitch count 69 high and 53 wide. So, and they did it on a Jobel and lamb's wool, 2 threads over 2. We'll probably do the same because I really liked how it turned out on their model. I also have Annie B's. Oh, hope I didn't show that. I didn't mean to if I did. Annie B God Save the Queen. A lot of people are stitching this. Yeah, bees are really popular this year. So I thought I'm gonna stitch it. I might not stitch it until spring, but it's on my list of things I want to stitch. So I've been looking at that for a while as well. Then while we were there for the class, of course, the Roveris ladies had a trunk show, and the trunk show, I could have bought everything there if the finances would have allowed me to, I probably would have. But I did, and I did not take these out of the package. But I did get a bookmark. Samantha and I are both avid readers. And the bookmark says to be or not to be, and it does have some bees on it. And I did not take it out of the package because here, Gary, it's got all this stuff in it, like all the stuff to make the bookmark, the lace and the clamps and the gems for on the end of the bookmark.
You don't want to lose any of it. Beautiful stuff.
I also received America by Roveris.
That's going to be cute.
So that's going to be for a 4th of July, or it might be for Memorial Day, Labor Day. It looks like it's going to be a fairly easy stitch, and I'm looking for some easier stitches right now. Here is for Sweet Land of Liberty with the red truck. You would die. It was just,
that's kind of vicious.
I'm telling you, you would die. It was just so cute when they had the finish. The finish was just, it was great. Can you see? Hopefully you can see. Okay. It's hard for us to know if you can see because we're set up so far away. And then I also got the Roveris. This is the C, and it has like a scissor fob that's a crab.
I love.
I'm probably going to change the crab to blue. My daughter Samantha loves Maryland blue crabs.
We went to Maryland last year and we were fishing crabs and it was so much fun.
So that's a story behind the patterning. You know, if you have a story to go with the pattern,
it's meant to be.
It's meant to be, right? And then the last thing I actually got 2 of these. And I asked the Roveras ladies to please autograph them for me, and she did. But I've never seen this before, and I heard somebody on Flosstube talking about it at one point in time. But I'm going to see if I can... Only for you, Gary, will I take this out. But I got one for my new friend that I made at StitchCon, Miss Daphne, Mama Metzger. And I had them autograph it for her, too. And I'm going to send that to her in Arizona. And this is the Roveras, and it is the pirate skeleton with the mermaid skeleton.
I didn't realize that it was a mermaid. Like, I thought they were just both normal skeletons.
No, it's a mermaid.
That's so cool.
That is really cool. So the mermaid has a little octopus on her head, and the pirate's got his little beer whiskey bottle in his hand. And she's got a little, you can see her fin, the skeleton of the fin. Yeah.
Very impressed.
What can I say? Yes. Their patterns, this is like a real photo. This is a real...
Like, look, it's not attached.
Look, it is a real photo. It is not a printout. It's not printed. It is a real printed, their photo. Like, on real camera photo paper. It's the real deal.
It's real.
Their patterns are quality. Just quality.
One word. Quality.
It just is. It's just nice. They're very nice. They actually are, the Roveras women are in the States. They said for a couple of months they were doing a tour across the States. They were at a couple of different places. Their next place they were going was in North Carolina. You should definitely look them up. If you have any questions, if you want to know anything about what they're doing, check them out. I have seen them post on social media. They do have some postings at different places as to where they're coming up. I know that they're going to be in North Carolina, I think, next for a showing. They did have their trunk show there. It was just overall, it was a great experience. So, plans. What's your plan, Samantha?
Keep stitching on my parchment tapestry.
Okay, and my plans is, I got a couple. StitchCon, we're definitely preparing for June 11th through the 14th. Next year they had to change the dates, which is fine. I already got vacation approved, already got the hotel reserved, so we're set. We're doing a family vacation that week in conjunction with StitchCon. August 15th, there's a Rosewood Manor SAL that Gary and the Sunshine Stitchers are had announced, a stitch along. Sal is a stitch along. He's doing Autumn Quaker. I'm actually doing Autumn Quaker as well. Crazy Annie's has agreed to kit everything, and they'll sell it to you in the bundle with the floss, the fabric, the design, everything. And I believe it was at a discounted price. So check out Crazy Annie's. You can also check out the Sunshine Stitchers. Their last posting had about this SAL that they're going to be doing. I did see Deb, who is a guest on the Sunshine Stitchers periodically when Sheila is off on her cruising. And she was working on that at StitchCon, and it was just beautiful, which I think all Rosewood Manors are beautiful. So you can stitch on that, or you can stitch on any Rosewood Manor if you want to and be part of that stitch along. So, and that's another way to bring connection with fellow people that are out there doing what you're doing at home.
Community.
It is its own community. So I think we went over haul, we went over the plans. I'm going to be working on my magical stitches. The homework assignment for this week was to stitch on 2 of 3 projects in your whip that was either number 1, number 2, or number 12.
I didn't look at it yet.
So, and if you only had one whip, you could do so many stitches on one whip, or 500 stitches on the other. I think it was 1,000 stitches on one whip. I obviously have more than one whip. So I had to look at my list that I submitted the last time they asked us to update, because I didn't update the most recent time because I'm not one to track as well as I probably should.
Yeah.
So I will be doing my Shores of Hawk Run Hollow, and I'll be working on the Starry Pines to get homework done. And then my focus will be back on my Halloween Quaker to try and make some progress with the Halloween Quaker this week and use that for the extra credit, because there's definitely a lot of extra credit for July and August that I can easily pull off of that Halloween Quaker where I'm at. I have a flower, I have a bird, so I know that those were 2 of the extra credits right there, and it's 500 stitches each on those things. So if you're not involved with any kind of a group, I encourage you to get involved. There's plenty of them out there. If you look at the comments below, we are going to link and do some honorable mentions, some people that I mentioned throughout our video. But we also will put some Facebook groups that are out there that are doing different challenges and events. I really like challenges. Sometimes I have a problem saying no. Sometimes I don't meet the challenge. I try my best, but sometimes life does get in the way. Full Coverage Fanatics is doing a challenge right now to go with the Tour de France, the bicycles Tour de France. And each day is so many kilometers, and you do a stitch for each kilometer that they go, and they have 3 different levels, which all seems very confusing. But I'm using it not for my full coverage piece, but I'm just using it as a motivator for my stitching. So I'm just using it just in general stitching. You know, yesterday I think I did 28 stitches. The day before it was 100 and some stitches. And I think today I need to get 214 stitches in. So, and I haven't stuck a single stitch in anything yet because I've been preparing for the video. So that is going to be my plan. Look down below. We'll put in as much information as we can. If you have any questions about anything that we went over in our video today, feel free to email me at craftAddictK@gmail.com. The K is because I'm Carla with the K. So that's, and I'm just extra. She's extra. She's my stitching buddy, yeah. Samantha, and she has just as much fun doing these videos, even though she doesn't talk as much as I do.
True. It's true.
But I have years of experience to share. So
you got like 6 months of experience.
6 months of experience, but we've been doing it together. So that is what makes it great. Oh, wait, I forgot.
What'd you forget?
Save the stitches. I went to St. Vincent, St. Paul's. It's like a thrift store local to our area, and I saw a stitching that I had to get. I'm not sure it's.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It is, but after talking about the things that we do with our children and our time with my daughters and going to the Pirates game, I thought it was fitting to share it on this episode, our second episode of. Save the stitches, save the children. But somebody stitched this. I don't know who. But I like the sentiment. And I don't know the pattern. But it says... I think you
found it at a Goodwill or like a thrift store.
Yeah, it was a thrift store. That's where I got it at. It says, the best thing to spend on children is time. And I love that sentiment. It will hang in my stitchy spot.
It has been.
So... I wanted to bring that in here to show everybody to save the stitches. And she framed it herself, her or him, I don't know.
Gender equal.
But they did it themselves because you can see it's like a little tissue paper, not really tissue paper.
Wallpaper.
But somebody had tore across the top, and I can see she laced inside, so there is definitely lacing in there, but there's a little bit of tearing in whatever she covered it in. So
I love it.
There's no glass on it. But, I don't know what that pattern is. I don't know when it came out, but I like the sentiment with it because how true is that? So, with that...
It's a pattern that you see that's like, oh, that's pretty, but I don't think I could stitch that. For me, at least.
Could stitch anything, one stitch at a time. Stitch all of the things. That's what they say. Stitch all the things.
That's a lot of things.
That's a lot of things. So, I think that wraps it up for us. Yes? Anything else?
I went through all my stuff.
Okay. Then I think that wraps it up for us in our second episode. We are so glad you came to join us. Please feel free to share us and spread the word of, I hope you like the tips. These are just things, everyday things that I thought would be helpful. Don't expect that every episode, like I said, it's just something I wanted to share with you today. And I know I said that we were going to do videos every 2 weeks, but who knew I had so much to talk about? So we will see you next time. On craft_addict K. Have a great night.